Hello, my name is Jonathan, and this is the Bad Toy Review, our first episode. Just a bit of a history on the show. A friend of mine today posted on my Facebook wall a video clip of a British guy who goes around to British pound stores, their equivalent of dollar stores, and buys bad action figures and reviews them on the internet. And I thought that was such a great idea. I figured I'd try to make it work here because, you know, it seems like the American way now, right? I mean, why have an original idea when you can just adapt a British one? So that's pretty much where I'm at. I went up today to the local dollar store and picked up a couple of samples up here. And I just kind of wanted to go through them now with you and just sort of talk about how absurd some of them might be. So again, this is the Bad Toy Review with me, Jonathan, a true action figure collector of good action figures, but you'll see none of them here. So our first one is this. It is the Samson and Delilah 2-pack. This is honest to God something that they are selling from the Tales of Glory line. It actually includes the story of Samson, as you can see there, the strongest man ever to live, in case you didn't get that from the source material. So you've got Samson there, a column for some reason, and then Delilah looking wonderful over here. Let's just take a look at the box for a second. First of all, there's your normal choking hazard. Small parts, not for children under 3. I don't really see anything that small in there, but I guess some 3-year-olds could choke on the column maybe. Be odd if a 3-year-old died by choking on a biblical action figure. I'd feel terrible. Let's take a look at the bottom. One to Believe is the company that makes this. They're in California. Notice that Tales of Glory is a registered trademark of One to Believe, a division of Beverly Hills Teddy Bear Company. So people that brought you this also bring you teddy bears, which is interesting. So it's copyright 2007, blah, 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 made in China, of course. Scripture, which is quoted on the back, is taken from the Holy Bible, a New International Version, copyright 1973. I'm glad that they're using the 1970s Bible here. You don't want to get too bogged down in any of the old texts. So good, we'll see what that sounds like. So from the 1973 version of the Bible, a couple years before such great films as Rocky and Star Wars, we have this. Samson was the strongest man ever to live. He loved a woman named Delilah, and he was used by God to do some really amazing things. Judges 3:13 through 16. Now, it's been a while since I've read anything from the Bible, but I don't know if it's exactly phrased like that, but it goes on. Read all about this wonderful tale of glory in the story of Samson, the strongest man ever to live, designed for young readers. It's a fun and exciting way to teach children about the Bible's fascinating tales of glory. Well, all right. I mean, it doesn't really look like they do all that much, but I guess it could be fascinating. Anything else we got back here? No, you can see note for parents. There's one Bible point. Unless we're doing those things where you're paying to get into heaven. I don't really know what the Bible points are supposed to get you, but it's okay. G.I. Joe kind of did the same thing with the Joe points. I was never really sure what you're supposed to get out of those either. You've got a website there, family.org. Collect all the Tales of Glory. There are more. It's true. At the store, they only had a Noah's Ark, but it had some animals in there, and I don't know. It didn't seem as exciting as this, but let's pop it open and struggle with the packaging here. Oh, that's good. Just comes right off, as these dollar store things tend to do. There's an insert. Looks like instructions. We'll get to that in a bit. And I'll just chuck the box here. So there they are. Pop open the little plastic thing. Got a background there. And, of course, the infamous twisty ties, which thankfully are on their way out for those more, I guess they're like a papery, fibery type things that you can cut kind of easily. I never really got the idea that you had to fasten these action figures in this tightly. I mean, God, if seatbelts were this good, people would never die in car crashes, I'd imagine. Some of them would have thousands of these little twisty ties on there. Some of the Transformers toys, those were the worst. But thankfully, I think they're moving over to stuff that's a little more biodegradable now. But not the dollar stores. So let's see. Okay, so popping out our Samson there. Pretty good. Doesn't really seem to move at all. Feels kind of waxy, as though it could be stick a wick on it. Could be a candle or something. Yeah, there's not much else to do with it than that. I have a feeling the column will be even more exciting. Let's take a look. There we go. That is one biblical column. Yeah, I guess you do all sorts of things with that. If you build a diorama, you can have a three-dimensional column, if that's what you're after. And then let's check out the lady of the hour, Delilah. There you go. Dressed kind of like I don't know, it's sort of like a Swiss Miss meets kind of a Princess Leia-y type thing. I'm not really sure what they were going for there. I don't know that would exactly be historical, but okay, fair enough. Takes on the Bible, I guess, are welcome. It is the 1970s edition, after all. Maybe that's what they were getting from that. So she's got some sort of a headdress on. Doesn't come off. Doesn't move at all either. I guess they just sort of kind of interact like that. Hello, I'm strong. Hi, don't hurt me. That type of thing. Anyway, that's these two, and of course, guest starring the column. She could just be kind of hanging out next to the column, and pretty much stay there until you move her. Well, that seems like Samson and Delilah. There's a bit of a package insert here. Let's take a look at that. You get Samson, the strongest man ever to ever live. Interesting thing here. So I guess this is the story of Samson that the back was saying you can read. Here it's also in some other book, but I forget what it's called. Oh, here we go. You get some pages there, large print, which is always nice, I guess. That is kind of refreshing. The personalized cards on the back of action figure packages have kind of gone away now, but it's refreshing to see that the dollar store are actually giving you some personalized stuff there, even if it is for the Samson and Delilah line. Let's see about these instructions. You may have noticed before that there were some instructions in here. Let's see if they shed any light. Maybe there are some hidden features I'm ignoring in the column or something. Okay, so it unfolds into this. Oh, I've got a poster here. Spiritual stepping stones. Oh, God. This just seems like the type of thing that you'd read when you're trying to pray the gay away or something, which, goodness, couldn't be less in favor of. Let me just clarify that. So, spiritual stepping stones for an infant, ages 0 to 2. During these early years, child is very susceptible to spiritual influence and instruction. During ages 0 to 2, what was I susceptible to? I was susceptible to pouring my spaghetti on my head. That's about it. Spiritual concepts. God created all things. God the Father cares and provides for me. God the Father cares and provides for me? Is that something I'd be able to understand when I was 0 to 2? I doubt it. I'd hate to see what the toddlers are going through. That's spiritual stepping stone number 2. These formative years, a child experiences great spiritual growth as he is beginning to understand the basic concepts of right and wrong, respect, compassion, and friendship. I think my first fight must have been around age 6. I think it was over a swing set. I don't think I was understanding any of that. Spiritual concepts, blah, blah, blah. Spiritual stepping stone number 3, ages 7 to 11. Okay, things about God's authoritative truth for my life. Well, it's all well and good. It's just that, when I was 11, I think I was just more concerned about figuring out how to masturbate. But anyway, sorry, that's probably oversharing, and I realize I just bought biblical action figures, so I probably shouldn't go down that route just yet, but that's okay. Well, there you go. You get a little poster that explains how to grow spiritually as a kid, I guess. I'm sure any child would read that. But yeah, go up to any 10-year-old and I think ask them, what they want for Christmas. This is high on the list, I think, every single time. This is exactly what a child wants. A Samson biblical action figure that has absolutely no action, and it looks kind of creepy, in all honesty. So, I don't know. I think we're kind of at a loss here. There's some kids out there that are probably having a pretty disappointing Christmas, maybe due to this, or maybe not. Maybe they're into it. Who knows? But anyway, that was today's find at the Liquidators, the National Wholesale Liquidators, located right up here in Astoria, New York. And come back and see us for the next toy, the Bad Toy Review, with me, Jonathan. Thank you.